Hi, welcome to another video by Emily Learning. In this video, we'll be talking about what you need to know for O-level physics on the chapter Transfer of Thermal Energy. So let's get started. The best way to find out what is tested in physics O-level is by looking at the syllabus. So here we are at the syllabus. Okay, so in the O-level physics syllabus on the chapter on transfer of thermal energy, you need to know about conduction, convection, and radiation. What about them in particular? Let's take a look. Okay, so firstly, you need to show an understanding that thermal energy is transferred from a region of higher temperature to a region of lower temperature. So, um, something that is hot will lose heat to its surrounding. Something that is cooler will gain heat from the surrounding. And heat always travels from high to low, somewhere with high temperature to somewhere with low temperature. Okay. Next, let's talk about in molecular terms how energy transfers occurs in solid. Okay. So or let's talk about conduction. So conduction is caused when the energy is transferred from one particle to another by vibration. So for example, if I were to heat up a metal rod, okay, so in a metal rod, what happens is there are many particles, right? Atoms or molecules inside this metal rod. So when I were to heat this portion here, so if I were to hit this portion here, what happens is it will set the particles at this side, which is heated, to vibrate faster. And when they vibrate faster, they will knock into the neighboring molecules more frequently. And this will set the neighboring particles to vibrate faster. And that is how energy is being transferred from the one side of the molecules or one side of the atoms to the other side via vibration. Okay, and this is what we call conduction. So in other words, right, for conduction to take place, right, we need to have contact. Okay, so if I want to transfer energy from this side of the metal to this side of the metal, they must be in contact to each other. Or if I want to conduct transfer energy from this metal plate, okay, to this pot here, okay, so they are in contact with each other, so this metal plate can transfer heat to this metal pot here. Okay, so that is conduction. Next, let's talk about convection. So convection is caused by density changes in fluids. So remember, for conduction, it can occur in solid, liquid, and gases, but you need contact. Okay, for convection, you need a fluid. So it only takes place in fluids like in gases and in liquids. Why? This is because um, okay, so let me give you an example. So for example, I have a liquid here, right? Liquid. And I am going to heat it up here. So what happens is when I heat this portion up, okay, the liquid at this portion, so when I heat it by conduction, the energy is transferred from the flame to the surface of the beaker and then to the liquid. Okay, then when the liquid at the bottom gets heated up, it expands. Okay, when it expands, it becomes less dense and it will rise. And when it rises, the cooler liquid that are denser will come down to take its place. So this will set up a convection current and cause the liquid to heat up quickly. And this process of heat transfer, okay, is called convection. Next, let's talk about radiation. But before I talk about radiation, let's look at conduction and convection. In order for conduction and convection to happen, we need a material medium. It cannot travel through a vacuum. So for conduction, it can travel through solid, liquid, and gases. Okay, but it will travel faster through solid because the particles are closer together, and slowest through gases because the particles are very far apart. Okay, for convection, it is either through liquid or gases. But for radiation, we do not need a material medium to travel. Okay, so in radiation, we do not require a material medium to travel. Okay, so the heat from the sun can reach us on Earth because of radiation. Okay, so the infrared radiation from the sun reaches us, okay, by radiation. Then when we talk about radiation, we'll look at the color and texture. Okay, So black and dull surfaces, they are good absorbers of heat. Okay, so they absorb heat more readily. Okay, but white and shiny, they absorb heat less readily. Okay, okay, they are also black and dull surface, they are also good radiators of heat. Okay, next let's look at surface temperature. The higher the surface temperature, so the higher the difference in temperature between a surface and the surrounding, the faster it loses heat, right? The faster it loses heat. Okay, next, surface area. The larger the surface area, the more easily something gains or loses heat. Okay, then now that we know what is conduction, convection, and radiation, a lot of the physics question will involve giving you a scenario and you need to talk about what are the heat transfers that takes place. Okay, so that is what is being tested in the transfer of thermal energy.